Thank you so much for joining me. We are here for chapter 2 of Undusted. And it says, I had hoped to find the attic key in the living room, but it didn't turn up. I decided to search my room next. It looked exactly as it did on the day I left home. Only the thick layer of dust on everything indicated any passage of time. My focus was drawn to my desk, where Dad's pocket watch lay. There used to be a time when its cogs still turned and its soft ticking could still be heard. When Mom gave Dad this pocket watch, Dad was delighted with the engraved design, a lily, just like Mom's name. Wherever Dad went, so did the pocket watch. Shortly after I started high school, the pocket watch fell silent for good. I don't know. Oh, sorry, Adora's got something to say. Dad, how are you doing? Are you still cracking jokes over there? I don't think I'm doing that well. I don't know how long this game is. I don't know much about it other than that we're cleaning stuff. I've purposely avoided any, descriptors about the game. But from what I can tell from our first episode and rolling into this, we're gonna be crying, I bet. I just know it. I know myself. I cry at puppy commercials and Kleenex commercials. You might hear Bella in the background. She's downstairs with me at the moment. And, she's making... Bella's my dog. She's a little papillon. And she's scratching up the blankets to make up her bed. You know, the way that dogs do. I know what it wants, but we're not there yet. I see. Think that down. There we go. With these hands, push a pocket watch's button to open it. Okay, not working, so let's try this. Oh, it broke. thought she'd been unlocked, left behind. Adora, how many times have I told you not to call the office directly? You're usually back by now, and I couldn't get in touch with you. I'm sorry, I got caught up in work and completely lost track of time. I'll make sure to check my phone more often from now, but please text instead of call. Alright. Oh, yeah, Mom, I was cleaning my room earlier and I found the cassette player Dad gave me. I'm sorry, Adora, but I still have a lot of work to do. Don't wait for me, and make sure you don't go to bed too late. Mom, wait, A broken pocket watch. Its time remains eternally frozen, just like my family's. I desperately needed Mom, but she threw herself into work as if she wanted to forget Dad, and maybe all of us. Days passed and we barely spoke to or even saw each other. I kept telling myself that I had to try to understand her, that she was raising me all by herself now, but my grief and sorrow grew nearly unbearable as they rendered my nights sleepless. Things would have been much easier if I had just blamed her. Yet whenever I saw Mom so exhausted and fatigued, sadness came before anger. I hated her for leaving me alone, but at the same time, it pained me to see her eroding away. As much as I longed for her comfort, I wanted to comfort her too. What I found in the darkness. When I couldn't stand the silence in the house, I would listen to Dad's tapes. Listening to those songs made me feel like he was right there beside me. One day, I heard a composer tell his story on a radio show. When I was a kid, my father used to hum songs he had wrote himself, so I became interested in music. I hardly saw him after my parents divorced, but whenever I sang his songs, I felt like I was back in those happy childhood days. And that's how I started composing. For me, it's a way of bringing comfort not only to me, but to others in similar circumstances. I could see myself in his story, and his song resonated with me. Naturally, I admired him. Finally, I understood what Dad had meant. I wanted to tell him that I found something I couldn't live without doing. I found a part-time job and started saving money for composing tools. When Mom asked about it, I thought she was finally taking some interest in my life. Oh no. I think it still works. Should I turn it on now? Not quite yet, my girl. Let's get rid of more of this gunk. Interesting. All right. Mom, you're late again. You must be exhausted. Yes, a little. How was your day? Adora, what are all these things? A controller, a microphone. They're tools for composing. By composing, do you mean composing music? Yeah, I started making songs, little by little, and I got a part-time job to buy these tools myself. Wait, Adora, a part-time job? You started working just for a hobby? Adora, you need to be studying hard for your future right now. Don't waste your time on things like that. And quit your part-time job too. And other parents would be like, you got a part-time job for money and didn't ask me for it? Okay. The controller, the first piece of music equipment I ever bought with my own money. I wanted to tell her that it wasn't just a hobby, that I was serious. But before I could say anything, Mom said she was tired and headed towards her room. Her words were met with the sound of her door closing shut, and I was left alone in an all too familiar silence. I was angry at Mom for not listening to my words, but I kept trying to understand her. I thought she might change her mind if I showed her how serious I was. Much like how music had comforted me, I wanted Mom to feel comforted too, and if possible, with a song of my own creation. How much buried in grief do you have to be to not notice that your child has a part-time job, by the way? Looks like a cassette player covered in flowers. After that day, I spent every spare moment composing. Not only was it my first song, but it was a song for Mom. And when I felt that I had poured enough of my heart into it, I recorded my song onto a cassette tape. I fervently hoped that it would bring her some comfort, and even if I couldn't fully convince her, if I could at least help her find a little... Even if I couldn't fully convince her, if I could at least help her feel a little bit better. When Mom came back home, exhausted as usual, I nervously handed her the tape. I thought if Mom listened to it, she would understand how serious I was. Where did you bury this? All right. Words gone astray. Achievement unlocked. You composed this yourself? Yeah, the melody came to me first, so I started with that. I'm still working on the lyrics. Oh, and there's another one I'm preparing for a competition. The theme is... Hold up, Adora. Didn't I tell you last time? You need to focus on your studies. Mom, I know it might seem like only a hobby right now, but please, can you at least try listening? Adora, do you even hear what I'm saying? How can you waste your time on this instead of studying for your future? I'm tired. Let's talk another time. Another time? When's that gonna be? When you quit your job? As if that'll happen. Adora, I'm saying this for your sake. I'm serious about becoming composer. I want to make it so you don't have to worry about money anymore. And people said I'm pretty talented, so... Adora, I said no. Don't even think about it. Right now, you may feel like you're special. Oh, woman. I was sympathizing with you over the grief of the loss of your husband, but... Harsh. Okay, hold on. We gotta get back into the immersion. I'm sorry. Right now, you may feel like you're special. Talented. There's no word anymore. Meaningless. Don't get carried away because of a mere compliment. Praise proves absolutely nothing. I wonder how her dad would have felt about that. Anyway, Dad's cassette player, despite how old it is, it can still play tapes. Why was she so angry? Was she more tired than usual? Even now, I still don't know why Mom reacted so explosively. I never expected her to yell at me like that. Her fury left me speechless. While I was done, she tore the tape from my hands and threw it in the trash. Without so much as a backwards glance, she said, "Stop wasting your time on worthless things like this." And what she threw away wasn't only a cassette tape. Therein was the piece of my heart that held my drive to comfort Mom, despite the loneliness after Dad's passing. Even if hating her was the easier path, I didn't give up trying to understand her. But at that moment, when my heart was equated to trash, I felt something disappear from inside me. After Mom's rage quelled and silence fell once again, I finally gave up trying to understand her. The right to hurt. The music box was the last present I ever received from Dad. Whenever I felt lonely, I would wind it up and talk to him as if he were right beside me. Dad, if you were still here, you would have supported me, right? Mom doesn't understand what it's like to have a dream, to have something you can't live without. All she wants to do is fit into the mold. That's probably the only kind of life she knows. I cried for a long time, pouring out my anguish. Listening to the music box play, it felt like Dad was sitting right next to me. After that day, I stopped waiting for Mom. I didn't even want her to talk to me anymore. I had nothing to say to her. Yeah, kid, I get it. Oh. Alright, there's a battery life to it. Should have known. Oh, it recharges though. I just noticed. if I remember to grab this when I... Adora, can we talk for a minute? I'm busy right now. I'm sorry for how I acted. I must have been tired, so I got emotional. But it was for your sake, Adora. I don't want you to suffer. Right now, things may seem fun and exciting, so you might think that the road ahead will be easy, and someday you'll understand. For now, it would be better if you focused on your studies and kept composing as a hobby. Now I get why you're saying these things. You've never had anything you truly wanted to do, have you? All you've ever done is live by other people's standards. That's why you don't understand how serious I am and what it's like to have something you can't live without. If Dad were here, he would have understood me. At least he wouldn't have thrown away my tape like that. It wasn't anything like you. I deliberately chose the words that would hurt her the most. I thought I had the right to, since she was the one who hurt me first. Mom said nothing during my verbal onslaught. Her silence only fueled my rage, so my words became harsher and crueler and more vicious. Mom quietly took my wrath, and after the room fell silent, she left without a single word. Left alone, I picked up the music box and said to myself, "Okay, that was nothing compared to what she did to me." It was a peaceful weekend afternoon. I had started to doze off after putting stickers all over Dad's camera. In my half-awake state, I could faintly make out Mom and Dad's voices as they quietly talked. I wanted to keep listening to their conversation, but before long, I fell asleep. Dad used to take pictures of me and Mom whenever he could. It looks like it still might work if I charge it. I'll try turning it on after cleaning it. I don't know, Adora. There's mushrooms and plants growing out of it. guess by the percentage that there's stuff I need to open. All right. Oh, she really did go crazy on the stickers, didn't she? Yeah, must be. I actually take a photo with the camera. Yeah, totally did. There we go. I knew that. I throw that little vacuum cleaner really hard every time. I feel kind of bad. Maybe I need the sponge? No, that would be silly. What was left inside? Achievement unlocked. Dora, did you finish your homework? Shh, she fell asleep after playing with the camera again. She really does love it. She's interested in so many things, like music and writing. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? I only hope she doesn't become like me. You still have regrets about back then. You know, I thought you were so beautifully radiant. It's all in the past now. I was naive and foolish, chasing what was only a dream. Now I'm awake and live in reality. Let's not talk about this anymore, all right? All right. And now a discontinued digital camera. It is decorated with stickers that I had stuck on it as a child. The camera contained a recording that I had never seen before. Had I pressed the record button while I was asleep? The slanted video captured a long conversation between Mom and Dad. I found it difficult to understand. The Mom I knew had always seemed so ordinary. Suddenly I realized that the words that I had so aggressively thrown at her that day meant more than I had thought. The moment kept playing over and over in my mind. How silently she stood before my anger, and how silently she had left the room, followed only by the sound of the door closing. And then we're on to chapter 3, What She Dreamed of. And I will be back with another episode very soon, I promise.